Have you ever stopped to think how the small choices we make right before bed might quietly shape the long-term health of our body, particularly one gland that too many men only worry about once symptoms appear? The prostate, though often overlooked, plays a crucial role in male well-being. But what if the routine things you do, or don't do, before you close your eyes each night could be subtly contributing to its decline? Across the United States, millions of men carry out bedtime routines without ever realizing that those harmless-seeming behaviors may be slowly affecting their hormonal balance, inflammatory responses, and even cellular aging processes. Things like late-night snacking, screen exposure, or that innocent glass of a favorite beverage could be setting off a chain reaction that silently burdens the prostate over time. This isn't about inducing fear or telling anyone to radically change their life overnight. It's about awareness, because awareness brings choice, and choice brings control. Let me start with a powerful idea that might surprise you. Your prostate doesn't rest when you do. In fact, nighttime is when a series of internal processes begin to repair, regulate, and stabilize the entire hormonal ecosystem that keeps this gland in balance. And if that ecosystem is disrupted consistently, issues like inflammation, nocturia, frequent nighttime urination, and even the early signs of benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, can quietly take root. Now here's where it gets interesting. Researchers have found that pre-sleep habits can have measurable effects on the body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm, which influences hormone production. Testosterone, for example, isn't just a muscle hormone. It's vital for prostate health, and the rhythm of its production is deeply linked to how we transition into sleep. If we disrupt that transition, especially through certain overlooked habits, we may interfere with the hormonal pulses that are meant to nourish and regulate the prostate overnight. It's a chain reaction that starts small, but over weeks, months, even years, it can lead to outcomes that many only connect when discomfort or dysfunction has already taken hold. And it's not just about hormones. Chronic low-grade inflammation is another silent contributor to prostate challenges. Emerging evidence suggests that what we consume before bed, especially in terms of processed snacks or drinks with artificial additives, can promote inflammatory states during the night. While your body should be healing and regenerating, it could instead be battling subtle biochemical irritants. Here's a practical example. Let's say someone winds down with a seemingly innocent habit, like grabbing a sweetened almond milk or a diet soda late in the evening. Though the label says 0 sugar, these beverages often contain phosphoric acid or artificial sweeteners like aspartame, compounds shown in some studies to influence inflammatory pathways or irritate the bladder, indirectly affecting the prostate's environment. Even light exposure from phones or TVs can reduce melatonin secretion, which in turn influences immune activity and hormone regulation. That quiet scroll through social media in the dark, it may be sending the wrong signal to your body at the worst possible time. The good news? Every one of these patterns can be adjusted. And the best part is, you don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to become more deliberate. Before we move on, I want to remind you that the body isn't fragile. It's responsive. It reacts, adjusts, and thrives when given the right environment. And when we make even small, mindful changes to our bedtime rituals, we create space for regeneration. Now stay with me, because the next insight is perhaps one of the most underestimated but impactful elements in prostate health. It's about what we choose to drink before bed, and how one particular beverage, widely consumed across the country, may be quietly accelerating the very issues we're trying to avoid. Ignoring this could not only limit your progress, but may contribute to setbacks you could easily prevent. Let's talk about what might be in your cup before bed. That final drink, often taken to relax, hydrate, or simply out of habit, might be doing more harm than good to your prostate. And the twist? Most people think they're making healthy choices. Picture this: a tall glass of iced tea, a 0-calorie soda, or even that nightly glass of red wine that you've read so many articles about. These are everyday choices, deeply woven into the fabric of the American evening routine. But under the surface, they might be sending conflicting messages to your body, particularly to your prostate. Let's break it down. Many of these drinks contain compounds that, while seemingly harmless, have been linked to low-grade inflammation and hormone disruption. Phosphoric acid, often found in sodas, even the diet versions, can leach calcium from bones and irritate the bladder lining, triggering an inflammatory response. Artificial sweeteners, such as sucralose or aspartame, are still under scientific scrutiny for their long-term impact on gut and metabolic health, and by extension, hormonal balance. Even red wine, praised for its resveratrol and cardiovascular benefits, contains alcohol, which is a diuretic. That means increased urination, especially during the night, and potential irritation in the urinary tract, which can indirectly affect prostate comfort and function. Now imagine doing this every evening, for years. Here's where it gets interesting. A 2022 study from a US-based medical center found that men who consumed artificially sweetened beverages in the evening reported significantly higher rates of nocturia, frequent nighttime urination, than those who didn't. What seems like a harmless habit may actually be a key player in sleep disruption, hormone imbalance, and prostate stress. It's not just about bladder activity. The cascade of effects triggered by these nighttime drinks can interfere with your body's ability to enter deep, restorative sleep. That kind of sleep is essential for regulating testosterone and minimizing the inflammatory responses that can contribute to prostate enlargement. But this isn't just a warning. It's an invitation to consider a better way. Because just as some drinks can disrupt your system, others can support it. For instance, herbal teas like nettle root, chamomile, or even roasted dandelion have shown promising effects in supporting prostate function, reducing inflammation, and calming the nervous system before bed. That said, timing matters. Even healthy teas can become disruptive if consumed too close to bedtime. The key is balance, selecting the right drink at the right temperature and drinking it at least 45 minutes before lying down. What's empowering about this is that it's entirely within your control. You don't need to give up enjoyment or routine. You just need to refine it. Choosing a naturally caffeine-free, bladder-soothing tea instead of an acidic soda or sweetened beverage could mean better sleep, improved hormonal regulation, and a more peaceful relationship with your prostate over time. Remember, the body is always communicating. When we wake up at night, when we feel discomfort, when we sense our energy fluctuating, it's not random, it's information. And when we listen, we make smarter choices. As you rethink that nightly drink, consider this. Sometimes the most impactful health decisions are the ones we make quietly, without fanfare, in the simplest moments, like what we choose to sip before sleep. Now, what comes next might surprise you. It has to do with a little-known cycle that happens every night in your body, one that's designed to heal and balance your hormones. But if you're unknowingly interrupting it, the consequences could be far-reaching. Ignoring this next insight not only limits your ability to support your prostate, it might quietly undermine everything you're trying to protect. Now that we've looked at how what you drink before bed can influence your prostate health, it's time to go deeper, literally. Because what happens once you fall asleep is far more intricate than just rest. Every night, your body enters a delicate dance of hormonal release, cellular repair, and immune activity. But if you're waking up once, twice, or even more to urinate, there's a good chance this healing cycle is being interrupted in ways that affect more than just your sleep. The hours between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. are considered a golden window by many health researchers. That's when your body is supposed to slip into deep, restorative sleep, the kind that supports testosterone production, regulates cortisol levels, and allows your organs, including the prostate, to carry out crucial repair mechanisms. When this window is disrupted, even by short wake-ups, the effects ripple out. Here's the truth many overlook. Consistent sleep fragmentation, especially due to urinary urgency, is not just frustrating. Over time, it can create a pattern of hormonal imbalance. Testosterone, in particular, is produced in cycles during deep sleep. Miss that depth of sleep, and your body misses its cue. And the prostate? It relies heavily on testosterone for its function and structure. On top of that, night waking increases the production of stress hormones. Cortisol and adrenaline surge when we wake up suddenly, especially in darkness. This compounds inflammation and disrupts the very balance the body is trying to achieve. It's a subtle sabotage that becomes significant over time. But what's triggering this cycle in the first place? You might be surprised to learn that even seemingly healthy foods can play a role. A lot of men who've embraced low-carb lifestyles reach for snacks like nuts, jerky, or cheese late in the evening. While these are low in sugar, they're often high in sodium or certain fats that can irritate the bladder or increase fluid retention. For some, even popular protein bars contain sugar alcohols that act as diuretics. The combination of poor hydration timing, late-night food intake, and overstimulation from screens or stress makes it harder for the bladder to settle, and even harder for the body to enter a truly restorative state. That constant cycling in and out of sleep takes a toll on prostate tissue as inflammation builds quietly. There's another layer to consider: insulin resistance. When blood sugar levels fluctuate from late eating, the body produces insulin at a time when it's supposed to be resting. Over time, this can lead to metabolic shifts that indirectly influence prostate health. Higher insulin levels are associated with increased levels of certain growth factors that can contribute to prostate enlargement. So what can you do about it? First, give your digestion time to do its job. Try finishing your last meal at least 2 hours before bed. This gives your system time to begin metabolizing without interfering with sleep. Choose calming, non-stimulating foods if you need a small snack. Think half a banana or a few unsalted pumpkin seeds. And hydration? Absolutely necessary, but earlier in the day. Try to consume the bulk of your fluids before 7 p.m., tapering off as bedtime approaches. If you do enjoy herbal tea at night, stick with small amounts and choose blends known for their bladder-soothing properties. Finally, wind down with intention. Limit screen time in the hour before bed and explore calming activities like reading, stretching, or even gentle breathing exercises. Your body craves rhythm, and giving it the right signals before sleep can support the deep, hormonal cycles that directly benefit your prostate. Every small step you take, whether that's skipping a late snack, dimming your lights earlier, or swapping that evening soda for something more nourishing, adds up over time. And your prostate, even though it won't say thank you out loud, will absolutely feel the difference. The next piece of this journey may be the one you least expect. It's about natural ingredients, yes, but not just any. These are foods that, when used wisely, don't just support the prostate. They protect, restore, and even enhance its function during the night. Overlooking this part could seriously reduce your results, and in some cases, lead to outcomes you were trying to avoid. By now, we've established just how much your nightly rhythm shapes the health of your prostate. But there's a shift that happens when you move from avoiding harm to actively nurturing. And one of the most underestimated tools in that shift: food. Not just what you eat, but when, how, and with what intention. Here's something most people don't realize. Your prostate is not a passive organ. It's responsive. That means the nutrients you deliver to your body, especially in the evening, can either fuel repair and balance or feed low-grade inflammation. One of the most potent allies in this process? Zinc. And where do we find it in nature? Pumpkin seeds. Just a tablespoon of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds delivers a significant dose of zinc, magnesium, and healthy fats, all of which play a role in hormone regulation and inflammation reduction. Now imagine pairing that with something warm, like a gently steeped herbal tea. Not just any tea, but one with a centuries-old history of supporting urinary and reproductive health. Nettle root. Unlike its more commonly used leaf, nettle root targets the hormonal pathways that regulate the size and function of the prostate. When consumed together, at the right time and in the right way, these two ingredients can create a nightly ritual that supports hormonal balance, encourages better sleep, and reduces the environmental stress on your prostate. But there's a catch. Preparation matters. Pumpkin seeds, when roasted at high heat or overly salted, lose their mineral content and can irritate the body. Similarly, nettle tea that's steeped too long or in boiling water can become bitter and lose some of its beneficial compounds. The key is simplicity. Take 1 teaspoon of raw, crushed pumpkin seeds. Steep 1 teaspoon of dried nettle root in hot, not boiling water, around 85 degrees Celsius or 185 degrees Celsius, for no more than 7 minutes. Drink this infusion slowly, about 45 minutes before bedtime. Let it be a quiet moment, a message to your body that it's time to restore. Why does this matter so much? Because during sleep, your liver, kidneys, and endocrine system work in harmony to eliminate waste and regulate hormones. When you supply them with the right nutrients, in a calm, consistent manner, they can function more efficiently. That's not just better sleep, it's better prostate health over time. Let's not forget another powerful compound, lycopene. Found in cooked tomatoes, lycopene has been widely studied for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects on prostate tissue. While you may not want to eat pasta before bed, incorporating cooked tomatoes into your dinner routine can amplify the benefits of your overall evening ritual. And what about the humble chamomile? While often seen as just a sleep aid, chamomile contains apigenin, a compound shown to have potential anti-proliferative effects on prostate cells. Adding it into your rotation a few nights a week could gently reinforce your efforts without overwhelming your system. This isn't about turning your kitchen into a pharmacy. It's about learning how natural elements, prepared with intention, can work with your body instead of against it. And more importantly, it's about reclaiming a sense of control over something that so often feels out of reach: long-term health. The beauty of these rituals is that they're simple, sustainable, and deeply rooted in both science and tradition. By aligning your evening nourishment with your body's natural rhythms, you're not just reducing risk, you're actively building resilience. So tonight, consider this small shift. Put away the processed snack, skip the cold drink. Instead, prepare a warm infusion. Crush a few seeds. Take that time for yourself. Because in that quiet, consistent practice lies a powerful truth. Your health is not just determined in doctors' offices. It's shaped, night after night, by the choices you make when no one's watching. And what comes next is crucial. Because even when we eat and drink the right things, there's a common mistake that can undo it all. It has to do with how we prepare, and sometimes over-prepare, these natural remedies. Ignoring this could not only blunt their effect, but may even lead to unwanted reactions. And yet, it's something almost no one talks about. Even with the right foods, ingredients, and timing, there's one detail that can quietly unravel your efforts: preparation. We often assume that natural equals safe, or that if something is healthy, more of it must be better. But the truth is, the way we prepare natural remedies, how we heat, steep, mix, or consume them, can make all the difference between supporting the body and stressing it further. Let's take a closer look at herbal teas, like nettle root or chamomile. Many people prepare them by pouring boiling water over the herbs and leaving them to steep indefinitely, believing that a stronger brew equals stronger results. But this can backfire. Excessively steeped herbal infusions may release higher levels of tannins and bitter compounds that not only make the drink hard to tolerate, but can irritate the digestive tract and even the bladder, precisely what we're trying to soothe. Temperature matters more than we think. Boiling water, which reaches around 100 degrees C or 212 degrees F, is often too aggressive for delicate herbs. The optimal range for preserving the medicinal qualities of most prostate-supporting herbs is between 80 degrees C and 90 degrees C, 176 degrees C to 194 degrees. This range gently coaxes out beneficial compounds without breaking them down or extracting irritating components. Then there's the issue of oils and seeds. Many people roast pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds to enhance their flavor, but high heat alters their chemical structure. The healthy fats can become oxidized, diminishing their anti-inflammatory power and potentially contributing to the oxidative stress we're working so hard to reduce. Roasted seeds may taste better, but when the goal is nourishment and healing, raw and crushed always wins. Storage also plays a subtle role. Many natural remedies lose potency if stored improperly. Seeds exposed to light and air can go rancid. Herbs kept in plastic or near heat sources can lose their volatile oils, the very components responsible for their therapeutic effects. Keeping these ingredients in cool, dark, airtight containers isn't just good practice, it's essential. Another overlooked factor? Combining too many ingredients at once. A tea blend with 10 different herbs might sound impressive, but more isn't always better. Synergy only works when compounds are balanced. Overloading your evening brew can dilute the specific benefits you're aiming for or create conflicting effects, such as pairing a calming herb with a mildly stimulating one. Simplicity, again, is powerful. The same applies to supplementation. Many men take zinc or saw palmetto in capsule form, often on an empty stomach before bed. But some of these nutrients require food-based cofactors to be properly absorbed. Others can irritate the stomach lining if taken without food. It's not just about what you take, it's about how and when you take it. Even your kitchen tools matter. Teas steeped in metal containers can pick up trace metals if the material isn't food grade. Plastic cups, especially when used with hot liquids, can leach chemicals that disrupt hormone function. Opting for glass, ceramic, or stainless steel is a small choice with significant implications. All of this might seem like minutiae, but in health, especially when it comes to systems as delicate as the hormonal and urinary tract, details matter. Precision is not about perfection. It's about consistency, care, and respect for how your body interacts with what you give it. Every time you take a shortcut, boiling the water too hot, steeping too long, choosing convenience over quality, you might not notice an immediate difference. But over time, these habits compound. And if your intention is to build a lifestyle that truly supports prostate health, the consistency of preparation is what transforms a routine into a result. By refining your preparation process, you're signaling to your body that its healing is not accidental. It's deliberate. And that message has ripple effects, not just physically, but psychologically. You become more attuned, more present, and more empowered. And now, it's time for what we've been building toward. The final insight ties everything together. A simple nightly ritual that incorporates the ingredients, timing, and preparation you've learned, plus one final step that amplifies everything. Ignoring it might mean leaving progress on the table, or worse, undermining what you've worked so hard to build. This is where it all comes together. You've learned how your bedtime habits, from what you drink to how you sleep, can influence prostate health in profound ways. You've discovered how certain foods, herbs, and rituals can support healing if prepared and timed correctly. Now we take those pieces and assemble a nightly routine. Not just any routine, but one that your body can rely on. One that tells your prostate every single night that it's safe, supported, and ready to restore. Let's begin with a calming atmosphere. Dim the lights about an hour before sleep. Let your body start producing melatonin naturally. Shut off screens, yes, even the quick scroll, and choose stillness instead. Then, move into your nourishment ritual. This isn't about restriction or routine for the sake of it. It's about creating a rhythm that aligns with your biology. Start by gently heating water to around 85 degrees or 185 degrees, not boiling. While it heats, crush 1 teaspoon of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds. Their oils, rich in zinc and anti-inflammatory compounds, are best preserved in their natural state. Place them in your favorite mug. Now, add 1 teaspoon of dried nettle root to a separate infuser or directly into the water. Steep for 7 minutes, no more. This gives time for the water to absorb the active compounds without overwhelming the infusion with bitterness. Once ready, combine the two, pouring the steeped tea over the seeds. Let this be your final act of the day. Sit quietly. Sip slowly. Inhale the earthy aroma. Feel the warmth. Let this simple act signal to your body that the day is ending, not with stress, not with noise, but with intention. But here's the final, often missed element: warmth applied externally. In many traditional cultures, gentle abdominal compresses are used before bed to support internal organs. This isn't mystical, it's practical. Applying a warm, not hot compress to the lower abdomen for 10 to 15 minutes before sleep can increase pelvic circulation, reduce muscle tension, and support lymphatic flow around the prostate area. To do this safely, use a warm towel or heating pad wrapped in cloth. Rest it gently over the lower belly as you recline, breathe deeply, and let go of the day. This external heat, combined with the internal nourishment of your tea and seeds, creates a layered effect, activating the body's repair systems from within and without. The result? improved sleep quality, reduced urinary urgency, more stable hormone rhythms, and a deeper sense of connection to your health. This routine isn't dramatic. It's not flashy, but it works because it speaks to the body in the language it understands: consistency, warmth, nourishment, stillness. And when practiced regularly, this simple ritual has the power to shift not just how your prostate functions, but how you experience your own well-being. Now, I want you to remember this. Your health isn't a mystery. It's not a gamble. It's a conversation, a quiet one, carried out in small choices, in daily rhythms, in the way you care for yourself when no one is watching. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Pass on the knowledge. Like this video if it brought value to your life, and consider subscribing for more practical, thoughtful guidance on how to take charge of your well-being. Because prostate health doesn't start in a clinic. It starts here, in the quiet of your evening, with the small decision to care. And that decision, repeated night after night, could change everything.